Welcome everyone to the regular public meeting of the City of Bathurst Council. Bienvenue à tout le monde à la séance ordinaire publique du Conseil municipal à la ville de Bathurst. Can I please get you to stand for the national anthem? Merci à tout le monde. Thank you, everyone. Madame Saint-Laurent, est-ce qu'on a des présentations? Do we have any presentations?
None, aucun.
Do we have any items to add or to be removed from the agenda, des points à ajouter ou à annuler?
None, aucun.
Mr. Hondas, adoption of the agenda, please.
Merci, Monsieur le maire. Je propose que l'ordre du jour soit approuvé comme présenté.
Merci, conseiller. Est-ce que j'ai quelqu'un pour appuyer? Tous ceux en faveur, dites oui. Ceux contre? Motion adoptée.
Who seconded the motion?
Je peux avoir quelqu'un pour appuyer, s'il vous plaît. Conseillère Chamberlain. C'est beau. Do we have any declaration of conflict of interest? Est-ce qu'on a des déclarations de conflit d'intérêt?
None, aucun.
Under the adoption of minutes, Councillor Chamberlain, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that the minutes of the regular public meeting dated February 18, 2021 be approved as circulated.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Lanting. Are you ready for the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. Special public meeting held March 1st. Conseillère Lanting.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move that the minutes of the special public meeting dated March 1st, 2021 be approved as circulated.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder? Conseillère Dagg, are you ready for the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, motion carried. Do we have any delegations or petition? Délégation ou pétition?
None, aucun.
Thank you. Under the Finance Department, accounts payable totals for February. Total des comptes fournisseurs pour le mois de février. Conseiller Anderson, s'il vous plaît.
Que les comptes fournisseurs excluant les salaires pour le mois de février 2021 soient approuvés comme indiqué ci-dessous. Opération 913 455 $, capital 388 910 $ pour un total de 2 298 357 $.
Merci. Est-ce que j'ai quelqu'un pour appuyer? Conseiller Willett, êtes-vous prêt pour la question? Tous ceux en faveur, dites oui. Ceux contre, motion adoptée. Monsieur Pellegrin.
Thank you, Your Worship. The following is a summary of the accounts payable for February 2021. In the capital fund, Saunders Equipment received a payment of $296,645 for a Freightliner refuse truck. Lounsbury Company Limited received a payment of $72,698 for two 2021 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 4x4s. Gray Bar Canada received a payment of $9,449 for decorative lights. Other payment of $10,119 includes engineering fees and other miscellaneous. Total in the capital for the month of February of $388,910. In the operating fund, Bell Alliant Mobility and Radio received a payment of $52,602 for internet, telephone, and trunk mobile radio monthly fees for 3 months. Medavie Blue Cross received a payment of $67,904 for monthly benefits. B Daily Excavating and Trucking received a payment of $35,682 for excavator with mulcher work, snow plowing, and tandem truck rental. Chaleur Regional Service Commission received a payment of $23,859 for refuse, sludge, and recyclables. Mainville Trucking received a payment of $35,757 for snow plowing and trucking of highway salt. WorkSafe NB received a payment of $16,069 for volunteer firefighter annual fees. NB Power received a payment of $159,455 for electricity. Post Media Network Inc. received a payment of $20,125 for publicity for requests for proposals. PCS Sales Canada Inc. received a payment of $29,987 for highway salt. Other recurring payments of $472,014 includes animal control services, repair, supplies, heating, and diesel fuel for a total of $913,455. Total payroll is $995,992 for 4 pay periods for a total of $2,298,357 for February. That is my report, Your Worship.
Thank you, Mr. Pettigrew. On your application for funding, demande de financement. Conseiller Daigle, s'il vous plaît.
Oui, pour la demande de financement, c'est pour proposer l'annexe 1, mais je n'ai pas l'annexe 1 ici. Je ne sais pas si je la lis de complet. Attendu que la Ville de Bathurst a reçu l'autorisation de la Commission des emprunts des capitaux par les municipalités d'obtenir des fonds pour les dépenses en capital sous forme de prêts ou en émettant et en vendant des débentures à la Corporation de financement des municipalités du Nouveau-Brunswick pour un montant n'excédant pas $1 114 000. Qu'il soit donc ainsi résolu que le trésorier et le maire soient autorisés à émettre et à vendre à la Corporation de financement des municipalités du Nouveau-Brunswick des débentures au nom de la municipalité de Bathurst dont le montant en principal est de $1 114 000 aux conditions proposées par la Corporation. Et qu'il soit résolu également que la municipalité de Bathurst accepte d'émettre des chèques post-datés à l'ordre de la Corporation de financement des municipalités du Nouveau-Brunswick de la façon et aux dates exigées en remboursement du capital et des intérêts sur les débentures précipitées, tel qu'autorisé par le vote du Conseil municipal de la Ville de Bathurst au cours d'une séance ordinaire publique tenue le 15 mars 2021. Pour les fonds généraux, numéro d'ordre ministériel M018-0065, daté du 13 novembre 2018, date de résolution du Conseil 17 septembre 2018. L'objectif par fonction, services de protection, services récréatifs et culturels, pour un montant de $66 000, puis un terme de 9 ans. M019-0012, la date de l'ordre ministériel le 11 février 2019, pour une date de résolution de Conseil le 17 décembre 2018, pour des services relatifs au transport pour $50 000, les termes de 10 ans. M019-0012, 11 février 2019, date de résolution de Conseil 17 décembre 2018, pour des services relatifs au transport pour $198 000 pour un terme de 10 ans. M020-003, daté du 10 février 2020, date de résolution de Conseil 16 décembre 2020, pour les services relatifs au transport pour un montant de $10 000 pour un terme de 5 ans. M020-0003, daté du 10 février 2020, date de résolution de conseil 16 décembre 2020 pour services relatifs au transport, pour un montant de 185 000 pour un terme de 10 ans. Ouais, puis M020-014 du 12 mars 2020, une date de résolution de conseil 16 décembre 2020 pour services relatifs au transport, pour un montant de l'autre c'était 100 000 la ligne précédente, ça c'est 185 000 pour un terme aussi de 10 ans. Pour les fonds de services publics, le numéro d'ordre ministériel M018-0047, daté du 31 juillet 2018, date de résolution de conseil 22 janvier 2018, pour service d'hygiène environnementale, montant de 190 000 pour un terme de 10 ans. M019-0012, daté du 11 février 2019, date de résolution de conseil 17 décembre 2018, pour service d'hygiène environnementale pour 195 000 pour un terme de 10 ans. M020-0003, daté du 10 février 2020, date de résolution de conseil 16 décembre 2020, pour service d'hygiène environnementale pour 20 000 un terme de 5 ans. Puis M020-0003, daté du 10 février 2020, date de résolution de conseil 16 décembre 2020 pour service d'hygiène environnementale aussi, 100 000 pour un terme de 10 ans.
Merci. Est-ce que j'ai quelqu'un pour appuyer? Conseiller Andoz, êtes-vous prêt pour la question? Tous ceux en faveur, dites oui.
Oui.
Ceux contre? Motion adoptée. Mr. Pettigrew.
Through to our treasurer, Ms. Gauvin.
Gauvin, s'il vous plaît.
Thank you, Mr. Worship. So every year we do capital projects, we do capital purchases for vehicles, trucks, and whatnot. And every year we have 2 rounds of debentures, which means that while we do the projects, we put it on interim financing. And when they're completed, we ask the province to go and borrow for long-term financing in our name. This gives staff the authorization to ask the province to do so. Donc, à chaque année, on a des projets capitaux, des achats des véhicules, puis on les met sur notre marge de crédit pendant la construction et pendant l'achat. Une fois qu'ils sont complétés, on les transfère en financement à long terme. Ceci donne l'autorisation aux employés de la Ville de demander à la province d'aller financer sous long terme au nom de la Ville.
Merci. Next, under municipal bylaws, l'arrêté des municipaux, c'est un arrêté relatif à la fermeture des chemins, des rues, des routes dans la ville de Bathurst. Ceci est la 3e lecture. This is a bylaw respecting the closing of roads, streets, and highways in the city of Bathurst. This is the 3rd reading. Councillor Willett, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. I move that bylaw 2021-10, entitled a bylaw respecting the closing of roads, streets, or highways in the city of Bathurst, be read for the 3rd time.
Thanks, Councillor Willett. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Chamberlain. Are you ready for the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, motion carried. Le prochain, c'est une fermeture permanente d'une portion de la rue Curry. This is a permanent closure of a portion of Curry Street. Mr. McLaughlin. Je crois. Mr. Pettigrew, over to Mr. McLaughlin.
Yeah, we're going to have a few pictures on the screen. Okay. The bylaw we just passed give the authority to the city to close some street, full street or portion of street that could be temporary or full-time permanently. What we're doing tonight, the small presentation I'm doing, is at the end of this agenda, the City Council will pass a motion to schedule a public hearing to close a portion of Curry Street. What I want to be sure that the public understand that what we're doing here is just at the end of the Curry Street, you see there's a cul-de-sac. And maybe look, you could go to the next slide, please. And that's all Curry Street, and at the end of Curry Street, you see in yellow, that's the only portion that we're closing here. The next one, please. Okay, that's a zoom of the area. That parcel of land was created a few years ago, and at that time, we were misinformed about Service New Brunswick because that triangle property that you're seeing below that cul-de-sac was under the city, registered under the city, and the city paid tax for many, many years on that property. But after the registration, we find out that the property was not city property. It was owned by Mr. Donald Doucette. Then what we want to do, that's to revert back that portion of land to Mr. Doucette. And the way to do that, the Service New Brunswick want us to be sure that we close that street, and after that, we're going to do a quick claim deed to return that parcel of land to Mr. Doucette. And the resolution later tonight going to be to we have to follow the bylaw that we just passed, and that will be to schedule a public hearing for that closure of street.
Thank you, Mr. McLaughlin. Next is a presentation by the Planning Department on proposed municipal plan bylaw amendments. Okay, we're all done. Next, the hearing of objections and support. Madame Serrano?
One written objection was received for 2145 Valley Lourdes Drive. I'll read the letter. Dear Mr. McLaughlin, as a citizen of the Bathurst, I am deeply concerned about the city's proposal to sell off many green spaces for development and proposed housing development of Valley Lourdes. Having a park bench and a couple of trees where people can sit and enjoy nature has been proven to decrease stress and provide feeling of well-being. It also provides a place other than the street for children to run and play, even without playground equipment. These things attract people to move here and is important for health of our city. Some things are more important than money. What concerns me the most is the proposal to turn the former lands of the Sister Hospitalier de Saint-Joseph Valley Lourdes along Teddy-Gouche River into housing. It is one of the most beautiful areas of the city and could well be turned into a larger nature park to replace the parks being sold. Will there be an environmental assessment done on this plan? Have you driven to Beresford this past summer and seen the mass excavation along the left side of the road towards Peters River? This area of land has been disturbed, graded, and denuded of all trees and grassland. It is an eyesore and a mess. What will happen if a big rain event washes all the disturbed soil into Teddy-Gouche River? I expect that the same kind of work will be done in preparing the area of Valley Lourdes on the opposite side of the river. We must protect the river from sediment. We have 2 endangered species at the mouth of the Teddy-Gouche River and Peters River, the Bathurst astor and the satyr butterfly, maritime ringlet. Surely these are reasons enough to leave the area undisturbed. These housing projects are examples of the one behind on top of Teddy-Gouche Hill behind Lonsberry's. Our asphalt fields and buildings built on them. The area is paved right to the doors. No rain will ever be absorbed in the ground. Rain will wash into the river along with the soil and pollutants, oil and grease from cars. This is an issue that faces all city development. To minimize the effects of climate change, it's no longer a theory, we can see it happening. On our wetlands and watersheds, we must come up with progressive thinking and how to protect the river and other sensitive areas. We must use best practice knowledge to develop stricter building codes and environmental laws. The ones we have are not stringent enough. We must do better. I trust the Council will give closer consideration to the above issues as decided on these proposed projects. Sincerely, Francis Glover.
Thank you, Madame Serrano. And on the property located at 1015 Nicholas Denny Drive.
One Written objection received. Bathurst City Council, we, the undersigned residents of Grove Hill subdivision, are opposed to the proposed amendment to the zoning bylaw for the property located in our subdivision, 1015 Nicolas Denis Drive, PID 200295518. Currently under consideration for rezoning by the Development and Planning Department of the City of Bathurst. We are against the rezoning and would like to have the property in Grover Hill subdivision remain as it is now, a green space within our neighborhood, adding to good quality of life that are unique neighborhood awards. We would propose that if not to be zoned for building purposes, but instead be joined with the adjacent public park. Furthermore, the rezoning has a potential to decrease the property value of our homes and open the property to future rezoning possibilities. The residents feel that there is no need for changing the designation as there are already several vacant pieces of property in the subdivision up for sale. According to the City of Bathurst Municipal Plan bylaw, it states that part of the vision of the city is to be a community known for its quality of life, where its open and green spaces are enhanced and protected. Moreover, the mission states, it was further proposed that the city would encourage the development of green spaces. The city's plan clearly aligns with our vision for this property, and we strongly feel that we should be upheld in our neighborhood. The property in question is on the corner of Nicolas Denis Drive and Alexander Anderson Drive, also making it a historical significance, as the namesakes of these streets are early colonizers of the area. Nicolas Denis was a French-born explorer, colonizer, soldier, and leader, and he founded the settlement Nipisiguit, Bathurst. Also, the historical importance is Alexander Anderson family. Alexander and Jean Anderson operated a large farm on this property, providing apples from the orchard, garden produce, and hops. Jean Anderson was the postmistress of the O'Hall Post Office, which was situated nearby. The original homestead was near the property in question. We would be able to meet with you and City Council to further expand on our ideas for the land being included in public park, the erection of a monument, park benches, trees, greenery planted. We would also present you with a list of other residents who oppose this rezoning. We ask that you uphold the integrity of our neighborhood by accepting our request. Respectfully, Mary and James Meager, Debbie and Stéphane McLean, Peter Bernier, and Gerald Boucher.
Thank you. For the property located at 1185 Arden Avenue.
7 objections were received for this property. To whom it may concern, we have been living in the Littlebrook subdivision for over 40 years and really enjoy the green space there. We pay our taxes like the rest of the city and get very little in return. We have a nice walking trail in our backyards, but no work has been done on that particular trail in years. All other trails are getting beautified, but not ours. As a matter of fact, we came close to losing that trail to four-wheelers some years ago. Our park is beautiful and is important to us, the residents. A petition was signed in 2009 against selling the park. We feel the same way now, and we did then, but because of COVID, you have us at disadvantage. Yours truly, Brenda Babin. City Clerk's Office. I wish to voice my objection to the zoning change proposed at 1185 Arden Avenue. The park area is used and appreciated by many residents and adds value to our community. Maintenance costs are minimal as the city already has removed the playground equipment and the grass is usually cut by residents. Green space in neighborhoods can only help to attract and retain young families, which our city needs to thrive. I hope that this change proposal is reconsidered. Thank you. R. Gary Babin. To whom it may concern, I wish to object the rezoning of the park on Arden Street in East Bathurst. This park is used throughout the 4 seasons by the residents of Littlebrook subdivision. The park is low maintenance cost to the city as is a health benefit to the residents. There is an even access to the NB trails in the winter from the park. It's a place to walk dogs, hit golf balls, and other activities. However, if it must be rezoned, please keep the zoning to a single-family homes, units, not units for multiple families. A public right-of-way to the NB Trail would be appreciated. Sincerely, Peter Gammon. To whom it may concern, I would like to express concern towards the rezoning of 1185 Arden Avenue. Although this park area has no equipment, this space is often used by the residents of the area. The neighborhood has welcomed many families and provides a safe space for them to enjoy the outdoor, whether it's enjoy a friendly soccer game or a ball game. Furthermore, this area provides the residents access to NB Trail, which we have personally used many times, summer or winter, with our 2 girls. The neighbors have taken their turn to cut the grass in the summer, and every weekend there's always someone who's taking advantage of the green space. My main concern is the loss of access to the trail, which is what we use often, but it would sadden me to lose the space, which my girls, the neighbors' boys, and many others have come to enjoy regularly. Sincerely, Chantal Kerr. To whom it may concern, please forward this email to the appropriate person. Thank you. I live in Little Brook subdivision in East Bathurst. I am strongly against the rezoning of the park in our subdivision. Apparently, this piece of land was given to the city of Bathurst by original landowner specifically for a park. As far as I see, the city does no maintenance or upkeep on this park at all. So why should the city of Bathurst have the right to sell the green space, which is maintained by the residents and used, if only to walk through, by the residents of Little Brook subdivision? I think it's unacceptable. The people of our subdivision has a right to green space park and are strongly opposed to the rezoning. Thank you for your time, Debbie Langston. Good afternoon. I hereby request the reconsideration of rezoning of 1185 Arden Avenue. I request this to be kept as a green space for our neighborhood. Our children need to use this green space for the outdoor recreation. The space previously held park equipment, which was dismantled due to the city of Bathurst not wanting to maintain it. As the area does not have a public park, I believe it is important to maintain this green space for our children. I ask for careful reconsideration of this green space. Respectfully, Nancy H. Scott. Mayor and councilors, I'm sending this message to express my displeasure with the decision of the City of Bathurst Planning Commission's proposed to rezone our park and to residential housing. I built my home in Little Brick subdivision 44 years ago. One reason being the park, and many visitors have commented on how beautiful and quiet this area is, and that is a great little park. Over the past number of years, the city has removed all the play equipment and tried to rezone the park, but the citizens have fought to keep our small park or green grass with a few trees. Now, once again, the city is trying to take the park from the taxpayers of the subdivision. One of the reasons I was given by the city for the rezoning was liability. Of all, I would like to know how many liability suits were filed because of this public using the park. I understand the concern for liability, but at most city facilities, signage states use at your own risk. Citizens are just as likely to be injured on a city sidewalk. The park liability could be handled the same way as pedestrians injured because of faulty infrastructure. The subdivision developers were required by the city to provide parkland when selling lots to city subdivisions. Now the Planning Commission wants to take this land from the taxpayers so they can profit from the sales and drop the responsibility of providing recreational areas for its citizens in the city subdivisions. I would suggest that people making decisions to sell our parklands rethink their plans and leave the park as it was intended for enjoyment of our citizens. Once those parks properties are gone, for very few subdivisions will have parks ever again. Not all families have the time to take their kids to Coronation Park, which was the intent of the city back in 2009 by allocating most of the park's budget to this park. Sincerely, Linda and Gordon Sullivan.
Thank you, Madame Saran. Do we have any objections for 155 Roach Street?
One written objection was received. Acquis de droit. Récemment propriétaire d'une maison située au 165 rue Roche à Bathurst, j'ai tout d'abord été enchantée par le terrain tout aménagé de plantes, arbustes, fleurs, mais aussi par l'emplacement de cette maison qui m'a fait partie convaincue de l'acheter. En fait, ma maison, tout comme neuf autres domiciles concernés, se situe au bord du parc nommé Parc Como. Ce parc, anciennement garni de structures pour les enfants et autres, n'en a plus aujourd'hui. Celui-ci n'est revêtu qu'une pelouse étendue jusqu'à maintenir par la ville. Ainsi, voisins et gens entourant le parc aiment toujours y aller seulement pour y faire courir leurs chiens. Nous faisons la même avec le nôtre. Certains y font même de la raquette en hiver. Avant même de faire l'achat de notre maison à la fin de l'été dernier, l'idée d'un projet s'est développé assez rapidement dans mon esprit, celui d'un parc-jardin communautaire. J'ai réalisé que cet espace commun aux 10 maisons et dont les limites de terrain en formant la circonférence serait un endroit rêvé pour ce type de projet. Je suis certaine plusieurs de nos voisins aimeraient planter des arbres fruitiers, petits potagers, arbustes ou autres. Ce serait toujours intéressant d'y amener son chien. Mon idée était d'aller bientôt en parler à mes voisins en faisant prochainement du porte-à-porte. Cependant, lors de la réunion du Conseil de la ville de Bathurst du 18 janvier dernier, le parc Como est devenu sujet d'actualité faisant partie des zones de la ville qui allaient passer du statut récréatif au statut résidentiel. De ce fait, je me suis dit qu'il était possible que c'était juste cet état de choses nuise à mon projet. Donc, par le biais de cette lettre, je m'oppose au changement de zonage du parc Como en ayant comme but de développer ce projet avec l'accord de mes voisins, bien sûr. Je suis prête à m'impliquer personnellement dans ce projet. Et puisque j'œuvre en enseignement, j'ai du temps durant l'été pour faire grandir le projet communautaire et garantir un suivi constant d'année en année. Merci de votre écoute et au plaisir de communiquer avec vous prochainement. Sophie Bellefleur.
Thank you. Est-ce que nous avons de l'opposition ou d'appui pour le 1835 Brideau?
Aucune objection écrite reçue.
920 Monarch.
Aucune objection reçue écrite.
2105 Brito Avenue.
No written objections received.
And 1254 Vino Street.
No written objections were received.
And 1085 Orser.
No written objections were received.
So I'd like to take a couple of minutes to invite anyone who hasn't submitted in writing, or even if you wanted to add on anything you may have submitted in writing, to please come forward to the podium. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to come forward? I'm just going to get you to state your name and your address and which property that you are opposing or in favor of.
Thank you, Mr. Worship, and thank you, councillors, for inviting us here to listen to us. My name is Peter Gavin. I live at 1090 Bayview Court. My wife and I first built our home in 1980. We've resided there since then, and we'd just like to talk about the two words that were used a lot tonight in a lot of submissions was green space. And this is what I want to try to drive home tonight is the fact that we want the subdivision to have this parcel of land remain as a green space. The reasons why are many, and you've heard a number of them. It is the only park off of Bridge Street. The nearest park is off of Miramichi Avenue, and it's all within walking distance. Miramichi Avenue is down there off of Couture, I think. But anyway, the park has had a number of benefits to our family over the number of years, such as we used to have mobile playgrounds. They were sponsored by the city, and summer students used to go there and run these mobile playgrounds. And I realize now that with the financial constraints today, that that's not possible. But we'd like to have you keep this parcel land green and as a park, because once it's changed over to private hands, it's never coming back. It'll be gone forever, and that'll be the end of it. I did mention in my letter that I would really like to see a right-of-way, public right-of-way from along the park going to the NB trails. The connection here is important because right now the connections we use to the trail are all privately owned. And I have asked the private owners if we can walk on those on his trails, and it's no problem. But that cannot go on forever and a day. So we'd like to see some sort of an access that you have a public right-of-way to the NB trails. This happens in Parkwood Heights. You have different routes off of different streets going to the major park. And as far as the maintenance of the park, all we're really doing is asking for the park to be mowed 3 or 4 times a year. Basically, that's it. And that's the only maintenance that has to be done. And as far as the playground equipment was concerned, I understand that it was ancient playground equipment, and it just has a hard time to maintain it. And I realize today that you want to centralize the park system and the Coronation Park. You've done a wonderful job at that. It's come along a long way, but just to have this one simple green area for us to enjoy, that's all we're asking for. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Gann. We appreciate your comments and recommendations as well. Est-ce que nous avons quelqu'un dans l'audience qui oppose ou appuie la proposition de modification au plan municipal? One final time, is there anyone in the audience who would like to come forward and speak on behalf, in support of, or in opposition of any of the amendments? Third and final time. Thank you, everyone. Next, under the draft resolutions, Entente Evangel Pentecostal Church Agreement. Councillor Hondas, please.
Thank you, Worship. I move that members of council approve the lease agreement renewal between Evangel Pentecostal Church and the City of Bathurst in respect to the Fred Pete Memorial Skate Park as discussed in camera February 1st, 2021, and that the Deputy Mayor and City Clerk be authorized to sign all related documents on behalf of the City.
Do I have a seconder? Councillor Anderson. You ready for the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. Next is a tender for a supply of Neptune water meters, soumission pour fourniture des compteurs d'eau de Neptune. Conseillère Chamberlain, s'il vous plaît.
Merci, M. le maire. Je propose que la soumission T002-21 pour fourniture de compteurs d'eau Neptune soit attribuée à Sansom Equipment pour la somme de 53 993,25 $ plus taxes.
Est-ce que j'ai quelqu'un pour appuyer? Conseiller Daigle, êtes-vous prêt pour la question? Tous ceux en faveur, dites oui.
Oui. Oui.
Ceux contre? Motion adoptée. Mr. Pettigrew.
Through to our city engineer, Mr. Abernathy.
Thank you, Your Worship. This is a standard tender that we issue pretty much every year. It's for the modernization of our water meter system. We have several defective water meters throughout our system, both residential and commercial. This is simply a restocking of our supply of water meters, so we're able to go out and repair and fix and replace those meters out in the field. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Abernathy. Next is a split case pump tender soumission, we pump centrifuge, Aurora, conseillère Lantin, s'il vous plaît.
Merci, Monsieur le maire. Je propose que la soumission T003-21 pour la fourniture de 2 pompes centrifuges Aurora soit attribué à DXP de Dartmouth, en Nouvelle-Écosse, pour la somme de 55 000 $ plus taxes.
Merci. Est-ce que j'ai quelqu'un pour appuyer? Conseiller Willett, êtes-vous prêt pour la question? Tous ceux en faveur, dites oui. Ceux contre, motion adoptée. Mr. Pettigrew.
Through to Mr. Abernathy again.
Thank you, Your Worship. This tender's for two high-lift pumps, as we call them. These are the pumps that control the actual water pressure in the distribution system. We currently have 4 active pumps. This will bring us to 5 active pumps with 1 backup. Now, the backups are interchangeable for all of the pumps, and the existing pumps are showing significant age. So essentially, this will allow us to shore up our operation and allow us to do more flushing and system maintenance over this upcoming summer.
Thank you, Mr. Abernathy. Next is the another tender for a flight low-lift pump, une pompe à basse pression flight. Councillor Anderson.
Thank you, Your Worship. I move that tender T004-21 for the supply and delivery of 1 flight low-lift pump be awarded to Modern Pumps and Metals for the amount of $43,304.41 plus tax.
Do I have a seconder? Councillor Hondas. Are you ready for the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. Mr. Pettigrew.
Through to Mr. Abernathy.
Thank you, Your Worship. This pump is one of 3 that we will have operable at the water treatment plant. These are the pumps that bring the water from the reservoirs and send it through the plant. They control the flow of water through the plant. In the current situation, we will have 1 pump active at all times. We currently have 2 pumps active, with one of them showing significant age. So what we will do is remove the one that's showing significant age and use this pump as our alternate pump back and forth. So we will have 2 available pumps plus 1 backup as needed with this purchase.
Thank you. Next is the new 4x4 half-ton truck, une soumission pour un camion 4x4, une demi-tonne 9. Conseiller Daigle, s'il vous plaît.
Merci, Monsieur le maire. Je propose que la soumission T005-21 pour l'achat d'un camion 4x4 d'un demi-tonne neuf soit attribuée à Bayside Chrysler Dodge pour le montant de 39 317,50 plus taxes.
Merci. Est-ce que j'ai quelqu'un pour appuyer? Conseiller Willett. Vous prêt pour la question? Tous ceux en faveur, dites oui. Ceux contre? Motion adoptée. Mr. Pettigrew.
Through to Mr. Abernathy again.
Thank you, Your Worship. This is the replacement of one of our vehicles that's showing significant wear, significant age. It's well past its lifespan, so we're just modernizing our fleet to keep up to date and try to reduce maintenance costs.
Great, thank you. Next is a proposal P008-20, 311 Main Street. Proposition P008, réunion 20, réunion 300, pour 311 rue Main. Councillor Willett.
Merci, Monsieur le maire. Je propose que les membres du Conseil autorisent l'administration de la Ville de Bathurst à poursuivre les négociations avec CLAD Inc. concernant la demande de la proposition P008-20.
Est-ce que j'ai quelqu'un pour appuyer? Conseiller Daigle, prêt pour la question? Tous ceux en faveur, dites oui.
Oui.
Ceux contre? Motion adoptée. Next, a resolution of council concerning the publication of notices under Section 111 of the Community Planning Act for 1015 Nicholas Denny Drive. Councillor Hondas.
Thank you, Worship. Whereas the City of Bathurst proposes to amend municipal plan and zoning bylaw for the property located at 1015 Nicolas Denis Drive having PID number 200295518, and whereas the property is classified in the municipal plan as institutional and in the zoning bylaw as institutional, and whereas the request is to change the land use designation for the property to allow residential development, and whereas the application to modify the designated designation for the municipal plan from institutional to residential, and zoning bylaw from institutional to residential single or two-family dwelling R2. Now, therefore, be it resolved, 1, bylaw amending the municipal plan and zoning bylaw be written in this regard, and 2, public notices be published as prescribed in Section 111 of the Community Planning Act, and 3, objections to the proposed changes be submitted to the City Clerk's office no later than 1 p.m. Thursday, April 15th, 2021. Objections received will be considered by City Council at 6:30 p.m. on Monday, April 19th, 2021 in the Council Chambers, 150 St. George Street, Bathurst.
Thanks, Councillor Hahn. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Anderson, are you ready for the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, motion carried. Next is a resolution by council concerning the publication of notices under section 111 of the Community Planning Act for 1085 Orchard Drive. Résolution du Conseil en ce qui concerne l'avis de publication conformément à la section 111 de la loi sur l'urbanisme pour le 1085 Promenade Orchard. Conseillère Chamberlain, s'il vous plaît.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Whereas the City of Bathurst proposed to amend the municipal plan and zoning bylaw for the property located at 1085 Orchard Drive, having PID number 205-24765, and whereas this property is classified in the municipal plan as recreational land community parks and in the zoning bylaw as park sports field PK zone, and whereas the application is to modify the designation for the municipal plan from recreation land community parks to residential and commercial, and the zoning bylaw from park sportsfield PK zone to residential single and two-family dwelling R2 and highway commercial HC. Now, therefore, be it resolved that bylaw amending the municipal plan and the zoning bylaw be written in this regard, and public notices be published as prescribed by Section 111 of the Community Planning Act, and objections to the proposed changes be submitted to the City's Clerk office no later than 1 p.m. Thursday, April 15, 2021. Objections received will be considered by City Council at 6:30 p.m. on Monday, April 19, 2021 in the Council Chambers at 150 St. George Street, Bathurst.
Thank you, Councillor Chamberlain. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Willett. Are you ready for the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, motion carried. Le prochain, c'est la résolution du Conseil en ce qui concerne l'avis de publication conformément à la section 111 de la loi sur l'urbanisme pour 2145 Promenade Vallée-Lourde. Conseillère Lantaigne.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Whereas the City of Bathurst has received a request from Dupac Real Estate Group to amend bylaw number 2006-01 entitled the City of Bathurst Municipal Plan Bylaw and bylaw 2008-01 entitled the Zoning Bylaw for a portion of the property located at 2145 Vallée-Lourde Drive, having PID number 20891347, and whereas the property is classified in municipal plan as institutional IN in the municipal plan and as institutional IN in the zoning bylaw, and whereas the application is to modify the designation from institutional to residential in the municipal plan and from institutional to medium-density residential R3 and high-density residential R4 in the zoning bylaw. Now, therefore, be it resolved that 1, bylaws amending the municipal plan and the zoning bylaw be written in this regard, and 2, public notices be published as prescribed by Section 111 of the Community Planning Act, and 3, objections to the proposed changes be submitted to the City Clerk's office no later than 1 p.m. Thursday, April 15, 2021. Objections received will be considered by City Council at 6:30 p.m. on Monday, April 19, 2021 in the Council Chambers, 150 St. George Street, Bathurst.
Thank you, Councillor Lantang. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Chamberlain, are you ready for the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, motion carried. Next is concerning publication of notices under Section 111 of the Community Planning Act, 1185 Arden Avenue. Councillor Anderson.
Whereas the City of Bathurst proposed to amend the municipal plan and zoning bylaw for the property situated at 1185 Arden Avenue, having PID 20430-286, whereas this property is classified in the municipal plan as recreation land community parks and in the zoning bylaw as park sports field PK zone, and whereas the request is to change the land use designation for the park to allow for residential uses, and whereas the application is to modify the designation for the municipal plan from recreation land community parks to residential and the zoning bylaw from park sports field PK zone to residential single and two-family dwelling R2. Now therefore be it resolved that 1, bylaws amending the municipal plan and the zoning bylaw be written in this regard, and 2, public notices be published as prescribed by Section 111 of the Community Planning Act, and 3, objections to the proposed changes be submitted to the City Clerk's office no later than 1 p.m. Thursday, April 15th, 2021. Objections received will be considered by City Council at 6:30 p.m. on Monday, April 19th, 2021 in Council Chambers, 150 St. George Street, Bathurst.
Thank you, Councillor Anderson. Do I have a seconder?
Excuse me, Your Worship. I'd like to put a motion.
I'll ask for the question
Okay.
first, please. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Chamberlain, are you ready for the question?
I'd like to put a motion on to table this rezoning for this particular property until we can have further consultation on it.
Thank you, Councillor Anderson. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Dagg, motion has been tabled. Next resolution, Council, concerning publication of notice under Section 111 of the Community Planning Act for 1835 Brito Avenue. Conseiller Dagg, s'il vous plaît.
Merci, Monsieur le maire. Attendu que la Ville de Bathurst propose de modifier le plan municipal et l'arrêté de zonage pour la propriété située au 1835 Avenue Brideau et ayant le numéro NID 20406-708, attendu que cette propriété est classifiée dans le plan municipal comme loisir, parc communautaire et dans l'arrêté de zonage comme parc terrain de sport zone PS, et attendu que la demande vise à changer la désignation du terrain de jeu dans le but de permettre des usages résidentiels, et attendu que la demande est pour la modification de la classification au plan municipal de loisirs, parc communautaire à résidentiel, et dans l'arrêté de zonage comme parc terrain de sport zone PS à habitation unifamiliale et bifamiliale R2. Il est donc résolu que 1. Des arrêtés modifiant le plan municipal et l'arrêté de zonage seront rédigés, et 2. L'avis public sera publié comme prévu dans la section 111 de la loi sur l'urbanisme, et 3. Toute objection aux modifications proposées doivent être soumises à la greffière municipale avant 13 heures, le jeudi 15 avril 2021. Les objections reçues seront étudiées par le Conseil dans la salle du Conseil au 150 rue Saint-Georges, Bathurst, le lundi 19 avril 2021 à 18h30.
Merci, conseiller Dagg. Est-ce que j'ai quelqu'un pour appuyer? Conseiller Willett, êtes-vous prêt pour la question? Tous ceux en faveur, dites oui.
Oui.
Ceux contre, c'est adopté. Le prochain, c'est concernant un avis de publication conformément à la section 111 de la loi de l'urbanisme pour le 2105 avenue Brideau. Conseiller Willett.
Thank you, Your Worship. Whereas the City of Bathurst proposed to amend the municipal plan and zoning bylaw for the property situated at 2105 Brito Avenue, having PID number 20431516, whereas this property is classified in the municipal plan as recreational land, community parks, and in the zoning bylaw as Parks, Sports Field, PK Zone. And whereas the request is to change the land use designation for the parkland to allow for residential use, and whereas the application is to modify the designation for the municipal plan for recreational land, community parks, and to residential, and the zoning bylaw from parks to sports field, PK zone to residential single and two-family dwellings, R2. Now therefore be it resolved that bylaw amending the municipal plan and the zoning bylaw be written in this regards, and that public notice be published and prescribed by the Section 111 of the Community Planning Act, and objections to the proposed changes be submitted to the City Clerk's office no later than 1 p.m. Thursday, April 15, 2021. Objections received will be considered by City Council at 6:30 p.m. on Monday, April 19, 2021, in the Council's chambers at 150 St. George Street in Bathurst.
Thank you, Councillor Willett. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Hondas. Are you ready for the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. Le prochain, c'est une publication conformément à la section 111 de la loi sur l'urbanisme pour le 920 avenue Monarch. Conseillère Chamberlain, s'il vous plaît.
Merci, M. le maire. Attendu que la Ville de Bathurst propose de modifier le plan municipal et l'arrêté de zonage pour la propriété située à 920 avenue Monarch ayant le NI 206-63779, attendu que cette propriété est classifiée dans le plan municipal comme loisir parc communautaire et dans l'arrêté de zonage comme parc terrain de sport, zone PS, et attendu que la demande vise à changer la désignation du terrain de jeu dans le but de permettre des usages résidentiels et attendu que la demande est pour la modification de la classification au plan municipal de loisirs parc communautaire à résidentiel et dans l'arrêté de zonage comme parc terrain de sport, zone PS, à habitation unifamiliale et bifamiliale R2. Il est donc résolu que des arrêtés modifiant le plan municipal et l'arrêté de zonage seront rédigés et l'avis public sera publié comme prévu dans la section 111 de la loi sur l'urbanisme. Et 3. Toute objection aux modifications proposées doivent être soumises à la greffière municipale avant 13 h le jeudi 15 avril 2021. Les objections reçues seront étudiées par le Conseil dans la salle du Conseil au 150 rue Saint-Georges, Bathurst, le lundi 19 avril 2021 à 18h30.
Merci, conseillère Chamberlain. Est-ce que j'ai quelqu'un pour appuyer? Conseillère Lantaigne, merci. Êtes-vous prêt pour la question? Tous ceux en faveur, dites oui.
Oui.
Ceux contre, motion adoptée. Next one is publication concerning publication of notices under Section 111 of the Community Planning Act for 155 Rush Street. Conseillère Lantaigne.
Merci, Monsieur le maire. Attendu que la Ville de Bathurst propose de modifier le plan municipal et l'arrêté de zonage pour la propriété située au 155 rue Roche et ayant le NID 20437893, attendu que cette propriété est classifiée dans le plan municipal comme loisir parc communautaire et dans l'arrêté de zonage comme parc terrain de sport, zone PS. Et attendu que la demande vise à changer la désignation du terrain de jeu dans le but de permettre des usages résidentiels et attendu que la demande est pour la modification de la classification du plan municipal de loisirs parc communautaire à résidentiel et dans l'arrêté de zonage comme parc terrain de sport zone PS à habitation unifamiliale et bifamiliale R2. Il est donc résolu que 1. Des arrêtés modifiant le plan municipal et l'arrêté de zonage seront rédigés et 2. L'avis public sera publié comme prévu dans la section 111 de la loi sur l'urbanisme et 3. Toute objection ou modification proposée doivent être soumises à la greffière municipale avant 13 h le jeudi 15 avril 2021. Les objections reçues seront étudiées par le Conseil dans la salle du Conseil au 150 rue Saint-Georges Bathurst, le lundi 19 avril 2021 à 18h30.
Merci, conseillère Lantaigne. Est-ce que quelqu'un pour appuyer? Conseiller Rondos, vous prêt pour la question? Tous ceux en faveur, dites oui.
Oui.
Ceux contre, motion adoptée. Le prochain, c'est l'avis de publication conformément à la section 111 de la loi sur l'urbanisme pour le 1254 avenue Vigneault. Councillor Anderson.
Thank you, Your Worship. Whereas the City of Bathurst proposed to amend the municipal plan and zoning bylaw for the property situated at 1254 Vino Avenue, having PID 20514196, whereas this property is classified in the municipal plan as recreation land community parks and in the zoning bylaw as park sports field PK zone, and whereas the request is to change the land use designation for the park land to allow for residential uses, and whereas the application is to modify the designation for the park plan from recreation land community parks to residential, and the zoning bylaw from park sports field PK zone to residential single and two-family dwelling R2. Now therefore be it resolved that 1, bylaws amending the municipal plan and the zoning bylaw be written in this regard, and 2, public notices be published as prescribed by Section 111 of the Community Planning Act, and 3, objections to the proposed changes be submitted to the City Clerk's office no later than 1 p.m. Thursday, April 15th, 2021. Objections received will be considered by City Council at 6:30 p.m. on Monday, April 19th, 2021, in the Council Chambers, 150 St. George Street, Bathurst.
Thank you, Councillor Anderson. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Chamberlain, are you ready for the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. Next is for public hearing regarding proposed closure of a portion of Curry Street, la fermeture d'une portion de la rue Curry. Conseiller Dague, s'il vous plaît.
Merci, Monsieur le maire. Alors, comme l'a proposé le service d'urbanisme de la ville de Bathurst de fermer de façon permanente une partie de la rue Curry, les membres du Conseil approuvent ce qui suit. Que l'audience publique portant sur l'adoption d'un arrêté visant à fermer de façon permanente une partie d'une rue publique connue sous le nom de rue Curry soit fixée le 19 avril 2021. Et 2, que les membres du Conseil autorisent la publication d'un avis de leur intention d'envisager l'adoption d'un tel arrêté mentionné ci-dessus. Il est résolu que si les membres du Conseil passent à la troisième étape de la troisième lecture de l'arrêté 2021-11, une partie de la rue Curry sera fermée de façon permanente.
Merci, conseiller Dague. Est-ce que quelqu'un pour appuyer? Conseiller Willett, êtes-vous prêt pour la question? Tous ceux en faveur, dites oui.
Oui.
Ceux contre, motion adoptée. Madame Saint-Laurent, est-ce que nous avons des affaires nouvelles?
Aucune.
Est-ce que nous avons des affaires courantes?
Aucune.
Est-ce qu'il y a des rapports des comités?
Aucun rapport de comité.
Do we have any departmental updates?
No departmental updates.
Before we close, I just would like to bring to the attention of the citizens of Bathurst and the whole entire Schiller region on the campaign that's now going on for the Order of New Brunswick. And the Order of New Brunswick was established in December of 2000 in order for New Brunswick, the Order of New Brunswick, in the highest honor of New Brunswick. The object of the order is to recognize Canadian citizens who are present or former long-term residents of New Brunswick who have demonstrated excellence in achievement and who have made outstanding contribution to the social, cultural, or economic well-being of New Brunswick and its residents. Établi en décembre 2000, l'Ordre de New Brunswick est la plus haute distinction honorifique de la province et vise à reconnaître les citoyens canadiens qui sont ou ont déjà été résidents de longue date du New Brunswick et qui ont fait preuve d'excellence et ont accompli des réalisations peu communes et qui ont contribué de façon exceptionnelle au mieux-être de la province et de sa population sur le plan social, culturel et économique. I just want to mention a couple of people who have been recipients of the Order of New Brunswick. Claire Wilt was the most recent in 2019. She received the Order of New Brunswick for her outstanding service to her community and extraordinary volunteerism. Nous avons aussi Jessica Ryan a reçu l'Ordre du Nouveau-Brunswick en 2011 pour son dévouement envers la sauvegarde du patrimoine de la région Chaleur, envers sa profession et envers la santé et mieux-être de tous les résidents de la région. Also, Ludmila Neskova Hussey received the Order of New Brunswick in 2003 for her dedication to the community cultural development. Those are 3 people from our region that have received this order, and there are many more that have done so much. It would be just great if we could get some nominations put into the province. We're going to get it posted on our Facebook page as well as our web page. And so if you have anyone you think would be a good person or good candidate for the Order of New Brunswick, please submit their names. So I'd like to thank everyone who showed up tonight here to express your concerns, and you took the time to join us. On behalf of myself and the City Council, we'd like to wish you a safe week. Thank you for your involvement. Merci à tout le monde qui nous ont écoutés de la maison aussi. Et puis, on vous souhaite une bonne semaine. On vous remercie pour nous avoir rejoints. Mr. Willett.
Thank you, Your Worship. I move that the regular public meeting be adjourned at 7:36 p.m.
Do I have a seconder? Councillor Dagg, are you ready for the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, motion carried. Have a good, safe week, everyone. Merci tout le monde.